Hello, folks. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Plucking Petals podcast with James and Kyle. As always, I am Kyle.
And I'm James.
We go a little something like this.
It's all about the good, bad, love, hate.
How are you doing, good sir?
Weather's starting to get cold, which is
Yes.
kind of exciting, and which is also kind of shitty today. It's all like rainy and gross.
Why do you like fall weather?
Fall has the best weather.
Why is that?
Not just because of pumpkin spice. I'm not, I'm a basic bitch, but
Yeah, pumpkin spice is good.
Yeah.
I like a good pumpkin ale. That's fun.
no, it's I feel like it's the most comfortable. It's like spring weather without as much rain, and I don't have horrible seasonal allergies. It's just
That's
like
good.
cozy. I like jacket weather. It's the best, man.
I like being able to wear a hoodie all the time. Although I came to your house today in sweatshorts and a t-shirt. So
Yeah.
but that's usually my recording attire. It makes me.
You kind of
able
look
to
like
move.
you're a bandit. It's like got the stripes, like you're an old school prisoner. Like
I
you should have
know.
one of those chain balls on your leg that stops you from running away.
I like that. I like that a lot. What's been new in the last week for you? What's going on?
Not much, just working.
Okay.
Doing all that shit. You know.
Have you been playing anything recently?
I've been playing a little bit of this Hearthstone expansion.
How's that going for you?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's new about it? Just new
They
cards?
just added new cards with new mechanics. I don't want to really dive into it, but I think it's in a good place right now. Worth
Okay.
checking out if
Yeah.
you're interested in that.
I can dig it.
Yeah, it's got a like. It is kind of pay to win. You have to buy like real money for cards, but there are decks that are cheap to make that are good. It's just you have less options available.
Gotcha. That makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Awesome. I can dig it. Last weekend, Jason and I built my new computer for work purposes and also game purposes. So it's a little bit of a mixture of both things.
Yeah, you got that freaking 1080.
I got that Tank 1080. Gotta tell you,
I'm jelly.
pretty good. It's pretty good. Everything's coming out okay. I started looking at doing like tutorials on YouTube. I'm learning After Effects right now, and it's really complicated. And there's a lot of shit to go on with it. But I need it for my job. I need it to get some more money, and I like more money. So
More money's good.
plus, it's a nice little tax write-off. So not entirely, but I get partially of a tax write-off with the computer.
Because
So
you're using it for work, like video editing.
yeah,
and
editing, audio editing, all that jazz. So I'm very excited about that. I got Quake and PUBG all running up and not looking like garbage on my laptop. So it feels good to
Yeah,
have
your
an
laptop was brutal. It was pretty bad. The
Yeah.
screen would just like,
flicker.
yeah, it was
had-
real obnoxious.
It's old. It's like I've had that since college, and this is the first time I've ever had a screen since 2000. It's been 10 years since I've had a screen that was over 17 inches to play a game on. So I feel powerful again. I feel
dude,
like
you gotta
I'm a
live
person.
that dual monitor life.
Oh my
I
god, it's so
love it,
nice.
man.
It's so nice. I'm very excited. I got, gaming has been good, but now I got to start working on it a little bit more and whatnot. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, I still haven't got around to updating my motherboard because one of my RAM slots is dead. The
Oh,
one that
no.
lets me dual channel.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate. We took a while last Saturday building the computer. I haven't built a computer since high school, and it has gotten way more complicated in 10 years.
I've done it. I'm not the most. One time I crushed the pins on my motherboard with putting a processor in.
Oh no!
Yeah. So
For those who don't know,
prefer
you
not
have to be
do that.
so goddamn precise to put
Yeah, I was
a
just
fucking
putting the
CPU in.
I was putting the fan on and I screwed it down too tight and smushed it
Oh
against.
man,
Yeah.
that's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I got to work on a little bit more cable management with mine. It's running into a fan that I don't.
So that's
super
why
need.
part of the reason I've been so hesitant to replace my motherboard is it's just like the most frustrating piece to replace because
Yes,
literally I have to take
it's
everything out and
everything.
put everything on it.
Yeah.
And I might just like, I love Micro Center. I've talked about this before. I might just bite the bullet and be like, hey, my graphics card's under warranty. I got the new one from Gigabyte.
Yeah.
Please just make it work again.
Yeah.
Here's $80, which is what I think they charge.
That's pretty good.
So it is when it's a full computer build to replace a single component. I know that it seems steep.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But since it's a motherboard and since everything has to connect to it and you have to test everything and make sure everything's good, I think it's worth the money.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So, James, what is your like for this week?
Smoking, as in barbecue, not like cigarettes.
Smoking.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just kicked the mic.
Let's be honest, smoking. That's fine.
Yeah.
Smoking's pretty cool though. There's a whole camel that has a jacket and he smokes. I mean, I think he has cool in his name.
Do people think you're funny?
No, never at all. That's why I'm on an improv team. All right.
So what do you think the most important part of a smoker is? Like, what do you think makes that meat that good cook?
That good cook?
Yeah.
I think the actual correct answer is the wood chips.
It's the airflow.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I got so confident. I'm like, I know this. We've talked about this before. Turns out Kyle was too drunk to remember exactly.
I mean,
what
like,
it
it's
was.
all like the heat source is absolutely very important. I'll go into that. But really, what you're looking for most is you want that installation, you want that airflow.
To explain why airflow is so important then. I figure you were going to, but
Yeah. Let me all right. So, you have your smoker. You got your firebox if you're doing real wood. I have an electric one. It's not. We're talking about real smokers here.
Okay.
You got your firebox, and so as your fire is burning, cool air is being drawn into the fire because it's sucking up that oxygen to keep burning.
Yeah.
So then the hot air is being pushed out the other side, and that, if your smoker's built well, goes over the meat.
Okay.
So, how they say hot air rises, but if you want to be technically correct, cold air sinks because it's denser and gravity pulls on it more.
Gotcha.
So a well-built smoker pulls the heat over this meat and out the smokestack very quickly. Because you want hot air moving quickly over the meat so that heat is being distributed to the meat and then it's gone and then the new heat is there. It doesn't, like a warm, stagnant air ain't going to cook good meat.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it has to be a constant flowing system.
Yeah, those are the ones that work the best.
Because yours is like a mini fridge. Where does the air come in at then?
There's like a vent on it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like, because it's not
Isn't
a
that
real...
on the side, though?
It's because it's not a real fire. This doesn't really apply as much. It's got the exhaust on the top, like the little vent, and it pulls air in through the bottom, but it's not real fire. There's not an open flame.
Okay, gotcha.
It's dumb.
Gotcha. It's dumb. Then why did you buy it if it was dumb?
Well, because I don't live in a house.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, so I've just, we're on the second story of a duplex, and I keep my little electric smoker out on our balcony, so it's super nice and convenient. Like, it cooks good food. Like, not real smoker good, but,
it's good.
I can sit
you
here,
can tell the difference.
play on my computer or whatever while it's just smoking out there.
There you go.
On the balcony.
Once again, those deviled eggs were the best deviled eggs I've ever had, and they were just smoked eggs, and that was great.
It's real good. So, in the case of these real smokers we're talking about, wood is what provides smoke and heat.
Okay.
And so it goes into a lot of, sometimes you want more smoke, sometimes you want more heat. This comes down to choosing the right wood. But wood is composed mainly of three things: cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin. And these are the things that make up, like, the cell walls of plant matter.
Okay.
So
they're like the rings on a tree?
No, they're actual, like, wood.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So green plants, like, that thing behind you, there's an aloe plant. Green plants are mainly made up of cellulose, but what makes wood more rigid is it has a high percentage of that lignin. And so this is what reinforces the cellulose and the hemicellulose and makes them sturdy.
Okay.
It's also responsible for a lot of the smoky flavor. So the stuff burning away is a lot of what you want in that meat flavor.
Gotcha.
That good cook.
That good.
That good cook.
I'm glad that you just started saying good now. It's so much fun.
It's the good cook.
I like
That's what
that
we're looking
good.
for. Yeah. So, like, usually hardwoods are better than softwoods, and that term doesn't actually mean how hard the wood is. Now, generally, hardwoods are harder and softwoods are softer, but it actually comes from a hardwood is something where the seed is protected, like by a fruit or a nut.
Okay.
And softwoods are like where the seed is just open and falls out.
So, like, a hardwood would be like a peach?
Yeah, peach is hardwood.
And then a softwood would be like a sunflower.
Well, that's not a tree.
It's green. It's green. A
okay.
peach isn't a tree as well.
Well, there's peach trees.
A peach isn't a tree.
That is true. All right, you got me there.
Bam.
Yeah, so, but generally hardwoods are harder, but not always, because balsa wood is a hardwood.
Okay.
Even though it's soft as shit.
Yeah.
Right. So even dry wood is about 20% water.
Okay.
So you get this wood. What are you using it for? You're burning it. So the first thing that happens when you apply heat to wood is it evaporates off the rest of that water.
Okay.
And then when it starts getting up, that happens right around boiling temperature, so 212 Fahrenheit, 100 C.
Are you boiling your wood before?
No,
you
but
put
it goes through these temperatures. You don't boil the wood, but like
Okay.
you apply heat to it.
It
you
goes
hit
through that
temperature,
process.
boils the water off.
Gotcha.
And then when it gets to about 500 to 600 degrees, the bonds between that cellulose and that hemicellulose, I don't know how to say that word, hemicellulose start
That's
breaking down.
fine.
And then this releases the rest of the water vapor and some of these organic gases that start contributing a lot to that good flavor.
Okay. That's that smokiness. That's the wood flavor. Okay.
But then when it gets warmer, this is when you're starting your fire. This is when about the 800 degree range is when the oxygen in the air starts igniting.
Okay.
And boom, this is when you got your fire.
Wait. Go back. Do that last sentence one more time for me.
Boom, this is where you got your fire.
I liked it.
Yeah.
You got really excited, and I really appreciate that. So.
Yeah. Well, I like smoking.
I know.
So every fire has 3 components.
Okay.
You got your heat, you got your fuel, and you got your oxygen.
Bam.
So
bam.
yeah, regulating these is how you make good barbecue. You need
Okay.
to make sure that your smoker is at that right temperature, and you do this by regulating the fire. And you can regulate like the amount of air going in, regulate the amount of wood you put in, and the type of wood you put in.
So you're telling me that I shouldn't just put everything on high heat and just throw it on there?
Depending if you're trying to do like a real quick,
Like a quick
sear or
se-
something.
Well, I mean, yeah, a quick sear, I guess. Yeah.
So it's all about what you want to do, baby. So let's see. It's the smokes, the wood's burning, the smoke's coming off it. It actually contains all 3 forms of matter. There's like solid soot particles in there. You got some droplets of liquid, and you got gas, like different gases, like CO2 and the
Hell
like.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why didn't they teach us this in chemistry class? Like, today we're going to smoke some meat.
I don't know. I got this from reading a book written by Franklin Barbecue. It is a very famous place in Texas.
Oh, it's not a person. Okay.
Franklin is the dude's last name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought his last name was...
Oh,
I thought his name was Franklin Barbecue.
Mr. Franklin
You
Barbecue.
fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry. I guess I could see how you would interpret
hi,
it.
my
that
name
way.
is Franklin Barbecue. And
What do
I
you do
only
for a
make-
living? I'm a bank teller.
Yeah. I'm an accountant. I'm really good at taxes.
Yeah. So when you're
Okay.
smoking, you want that good smoke, not that bad smoke.
Not that bad smoke.
No, you want the good
You
smoke.
want that good.
So what you want that is the most complete combustion possible, because the less of a combustion you're getting in your wood, the more like complex molecules are in there, and that's why like you eat something. If you ever had like smoky food and it's really acrid kind of afterwards,
What do you mean by the word acrid?
like bitter, like coffee, like
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's from bad smoke.
Gross.
So you want to make sure that your wood's burning as hot and completely as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So this is you need to make sure that enough oxygen is present to turn all that cellulose and hemicellulose into like actual CO2 and not like intermediates that are
Gotcha.
giving off a bad flavor. So wet wood makes a lot more bad smoke because there's so much more water in it. It burns colder.
Okay, and it has to get all the
So-
extra water out, so it's
Yeah,
longer.
So it's burning colder and it's not combusting as
gross.
well.
That's
Yeah.
how people always put tarps over their wood, right?
Yeah,
Nailed
you want
it.
dry wood. You want it to burn hot. You want it to burn with lots of oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all about smoking's maintaining the right heat. So I would say find good meat, support your butcher. I'm not gonna go into meat here because I want to save meat for another like.
That's fine. Where do you? So you normally go to K&K?
I like
then?
K&K. We've talked about that
Yeah,
before.
I like K&K too. Good place, good butcher shop. We went to Westside Market today to get a pork shoulder. So we went to Tim's Meat. We haven't had it yet, so I can't fully endorse them, but that's where we went. Because actually, not all places just sell you full bone-in pork shoulder, apparently.
Yeah.
So,
So here's a little trick.
okay.
A lot of people, like when they're cooking brisket for the first time or pork shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
you really want it to get almost 200 degrees. Like that's when it's that pull apart delicious.
Okay.
Now, as long as you get over 145, it's food safe. Like
Okay,
you don't have to worry
yeah.
about bugs or anything. But you want that good. I'm just doing it because it makes you laugh.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, I love it. It makes me very
Now,
happy.
you there's a part when right when it hits about 160 degrees, that's
Okay.
when water out of the meat starts evaporating. And so the reason sweating makes you cool off is because water evaporating pulls away a lot of heat.
Okay.
So right around 160 in like pork shoulder or brisket, it
Yeah.
starts to like the water starts evaporating at a rate where it really is hard to get past 160.
Okay.
So a lot of people are like, why isn't it cooking? Why isn't it cooking? And yank it out too early. And
Yeah.
that's why it isn't really, it's kind of more chewy.
Okay.
So you just like, some tricks are maybe wrap it in aluminum foil right when it hits 160 or
Mm-hmm.
like pink paper, butcher paper.
Yeah.
or just like power through. Just like don't get impatient. It's gonna go eventually. Enough of that water is
It'll-
gonna go away. It's gonna go through, and you're
it'll
gonna go
hit.
and hit that.
I think the recipe that we're doing the binging with Babish Cubano from the movie Chef. I think they said 185 when we finally cook it, at an internal temperature of 185. So, but we're also not making pulled pork. We're doing like carvings of it. So, I don't know. I'm excited. If you haven't seen Chef 1, it's a pretty good movie. 2, binging with Babish.
Is that the food truck one
Yes.
with John Favreau?
Yeah, and Sofia Vergara and that one kid. I don't know what the kid's name.
I've
but he
seen
was
the
around.
thumbnail on Netflix, but I've never gotten around to watching
It's cool. It's definitely like, because I like Chopped and I like Cutthroat Kitchen and just Food Network in general. I love watching people cook. That movie's for me. I don't recommend to anyone who doesn't like that. If you can't sit down and be like, I'm gonna watch someone cook for an hour and a half, don't recommend it. It's not that great of a movie. On top of that, it's not a great story, but they do some really good shots of cooking food and stuff like that. So, but Binging with Babish is one of my favorite YouTube channels. He makes food from movies and television. So you got the Chef's Cubano that we're making, or they made like some stuff from Legend of Zelda, and just like every week he puts out new stuff. I highly recommend it. Anyways, speaking of food, because let's talk about you and I, millennials.
Yeah, we're the
ruining
worst.
things. We're the worst. So we're ruining a lot of things, and one being Applebees. James, you know what Applebees is?
No.
Because they'd be
Explain it
eating
to
good
me.
in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That is their slogan. Applebee's is a chain restaurant in the United States. Currently, a lot of them exist. I don't know why, but currently a lot of them exist.
Just people like what's safe and familiar.
That's right. It is a 2 for $20 special. You get 2 entrees and an appetizer for $20. Who can go wrong?
And
You
I don't
can.
know if this is true or still true. Maybe it was at some point in time. I do remember hearing that they didn't actually own like an oven or a grill. It was all like prepared meals
microwave
that
stuff,
was
yeah.
microwaved.
It's like a sit down fast food place. Like at the end of the day. And I'm going to shame Jason right now because I don't know if he listens to this podcast. I don't think he does.
No.
But I'm going to shame Jason. Yesterday, he went to Applebee's twice.
What?
Willingly, no gun to this man's head. He went to Applebee's to lunch with a friend and then
Jason
dinner with
is
different
Kyle's
friends.
roommate.
Yes. So I am publicly shaming Jason for going to Applebee's, but it's more of just a warning that if he dies in the next week, that's the reason why he died.
Okay.
Because it's Applebee's. I don't know how he's not, like, he went to
it's
West
not.
Side Market with us today, and I'm surprising he could still stand, because that food's disgusting. Anyways, because it's disgusting, when's the last time I went to an Applebee's?
I don't actually know if I've ever been to one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
And I remember, I think the last time I went to TGI Fridays was before I was even in high school, or maybe
Yeah.
when I was in high school.
Okay.
Like, I don't generally do
See, it's
this.
like a high school spot because it's normally like cheap food, and you can go in, make a ruckus. No one's gonna say no anything because they're like, we need the business.
Yeah.
Like fuck. But now as we're adults, I don't know the last time I went to an Applebee's.
Yeah, I know you can like eat and drink for cheap. Man, support your corner bar. Like go to
exactly.
your Red Rose or whatever.
There's I would say there's Woodstock over there. There's Bottle House. They're all right down the street just from you.
Yeah, that's not even
Yuzu,
what I meant. Like, so by corner bar, I meant like Lakewood Village Tavern is mine, the one that's like got
Yeah.
those $2 drink specials.
Oh
I
my
really
God.
like Riverwood. I know it's kind of a drive for me because it's west side of Lakewood, but
yeah, Riverwood. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm like,
I got that Wednesday taco night. It's like
Boom.
$1.50 or $1.25 for the beef tacos.
Yeah,
It's-
and they always
oh.
have good drink specials.
And then they always have
whatnot.
$2 on draft beer, regardless of what it is. So
Yeah.
you could get a pint of Fathead Spooky Tooth for $2, which you're
on
not supposed
Wednesdays?
to do. No, I think that's any happy hour any weekday. But then the
That's
tacos are just Wednesdays.
insane.
Yeah. Now they don't always have the best selection, but a $2 draft is a great
It's still at the end of the
deal,
day
yeah.
a $2 draft. So I mean, you and I go to Kenilworth once in a while, and
Got that
that's
wings.
got those good wings and whatnot. So I
No,
feel
we're
like
done
it's
with the smoking
important.
section. No more good.
No, we're okay. I'm
Those
sorry.
things are just good.
No, we're good. We're just they're pretty decent wings. Let's
Yeah.
be
No,
honest.
they're good.
Apparently, there's a wing shortage. That's what I've been hearing. I don't know how, but apparently there's a wing shortage currently.
Okay.
So we'll see what's going on. I don't
Make
know.
more wings. Make
Exactly.
More
Make more chickens. You can make chickens so quickly they bust out like several eggs a day. I think. I actually don't know how often chickens.
Let's just not dive into that
That's
at
fine.
all.
Anyways, This is an NPR article, so you know that, one, it's fake news because it's NPR, obviously.
I like NPR.
I know you do. But the title is Applebee's gives up on millennials after failed rebranding efforts. First off, it's kind of like when someone gets fired and they go, "No, I quit."
Yeah.
It's like, no,
Now
we
you
left.
don't get a severance package.
Yeah, we left a while ago. Okay. So Applebee's announced this month that more than 130 of its restaurants will close by the end of the year. Oh, darn. Oh, rats. The casual dining chain rebranded itself in the past few years as a modern bar and grill. But so they just rebranded. They made different lighting effects and put cool music in, but didn't
And I
change
saw
the
a
menu.
commercial that actually like made a big deal about them using a stove, like because I think the rumor that it was microwave only was going around. Yeah,
And that's most definitely true. Applebee's executive John Sawinski recently told investors that the company had hoped the effort would attract a new kind of customer. The chain aimed to lure, quote-unquote, a more youthful and affluent demographic with a more independent or even sophisticated dining mindset. Man, when I think sophisticated dining, I think Applebee's spinach and artichoke dip with really bad Tostitos chips that have been out for a week and a half. So nice. Including a clear pendulum swing towards millennials. Applebee's wanted to lure millennials with dishes like barbecue shrimp or sriracha in a sriracha lime sauce, chicken wonton tacos, and a pork ham and bacon sandwich.
all right. I'm a quick sidebar here. I like sriracha sauce.
Okay.
I think it's too popular.
Why do you
Give
think
other
it's too
hot
popular?
sauces a chance, man. Like
Yeah.
everything's sriracha right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I like. All right, it's the Asian hot sauce. It's good on rice dishes. I like that a lot. Mm-hmm. People are just sticking it on everything.
I use sriracha a lot when I cook. I feel like it's I feel like out of all the hot sauces, because it's the consistency of it, I feel like it's easier to cook with and easier to develop an extra flavor when you're adding into a dish.
Yeah, I get that argument, and it's something I like.
Yeah.
I'm not, but I just think it's too many places.
I agree. Everything is like sriracha this, sriracha that, and I have to agree with you. It's a little bit of an overkill, and they don't taste like it. When you say sriracha, everyone assumes it's like the Rooster Smooch one, like with the green
Yeah,
cap.
because it's that's just the name of a city. They can't copyright it, so the only copyright on official sriracha sauce is the Green Rooster.
Exactly.
So anyone can be like, hey, it's sriracha sauce.
Yep, but it's really
doesn't-
not.
yeah.
It doesn't taste anywhere near how it should be, or at least how that is. I'm sure sriracha tastes different everywhere. You just gotta see who has it. But yeah, then it just turns into like, oh man, it's got a little bit of a kick to it. So it's basically like Frank's Red Hot Sauce,
Which I really
do.
like, but I like diversity, man. There's so many good hot sauces
Exactly.
out there. Like,
Exactly. But I mean, have you had sriracha mayo on a egg sandwich before?
yeah,
It's amazing.
it's good. It's very
probably,
good.
I hate that I love sriracha mayo. So
Yeah, I'm just
much.
trying to get on my same flavor traps. Like
I
you know.
understand. I understand. Applebee's wanted to lure. Okay, we already read that with barbecue shrimp. I just don't understand that. Like, oh, this is crazy. We barbecued some shrimp. This is like, I want to know what focus groups they did to see, because obviously they're not gonna put something on a menu without testing it somewhere. I want to know what happened in that meeting that was like, millennials just like shrimp a bunch. I don't know what happened.
It's
Like,
just- I don't know. We appreciate good cooking. We like. I mean, as a generation, I feel like I mean, it's hard to kind of pigeonhole people like that, but I feel like we
Yeah.
appreciate like craft. We appreciate people that are doing something very passionate about.
yeah.
In a lot of cases, especially food and like dining experiences, yeah, we'll pay a little more because someone really like thought this menu out. And
I want to know, like, I'm very much about like a story. I like the aspect of being like, why did you think this was gonna work, and like, how long did it take? Like, I want to know everything about it. Like, I find it very interesting.
it's so the whole focus testing thing is super weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why like I think most movies just the superhero trend right now is just like big flashy action, just a
Yep.
little bit, and it's just like
They
all
had one. They
focus
had
group.
one focus group, and they were like,
Yeah.
We're good for 8 years. It's fine. Everything's good." But that triple pork bonanza and the rest of the company's makeover didn't seem to catch on with customers. Sales at Applebee's dropped more than 6% from last year. So who's still going? I mean, is old people just going to Applebee's then?
Yeah,
So,
yes.
that makes sense.
I mean, if you want, yeah, like cheap food. There's a bunch of other places to get it.
Exactly. From my perspective, this pursuit led to decisions that created confusion among core guests as Applebee's intentionally drifted from its middle America roots and its abundant value positioning. I don't know what that means.
I think it just, it's a business.
their
Hey,
values.
if we do this a little bit cheaper, yeah, it doesn't taste as good, but it's more of a margin for us.
Exactly. We could save a little more money. In other words, millennials didn't go for it and the regulars got turned off. In fact, Applebee's isn't the only big chain restaurant struggling. You see very weak results from people like Ruby Tuesdays. Well, because Ruby Tuesdays just blows anyways.
I don't
That's good.
really even know what that is.
It's like...
I think there was one down by Valley View. Now that I
think
don't think it's still
yeah,
there.
there's one right
but
by my job in North Olmsted, and like it is dead all the time. Ruby Tuesdays, Fridays, and Chili's as well. Consumers are saying that all these people are offering the same food items. The decors are the same. Also, that prices have become very high in these places, which is true. If I'm going to go get some food, like a burger, I'm probably just going to go to like Jamie Bugger or something because I know it's going to be good.
And honestly, I love a Five Guys burger.
Man, I
Like
love a
people
good
like,
Five
yeah,
Guys
if I go to
burger.
freaking, what is it? We're talking about Applebee's or whatever. I don't know how much a burger is there, but
Yeah.
if it's $7 or $8, fuck, I'm just gonna go to Five Guys. Like
Exactly. And I know I'm going to enjoy it every time. I know what I'm getting into. Let's see here. So maybe time for yet another transformation for Applebee's. If it really wants to stand out in the crowd, maybe good food. That's probably a good idea. Also, the fact that you're a chain probably doesn't help, just PR.
you gotta make sure everything's the same. If I go to Applebee's here, I go to Applebee's in Texas, and I order the same menu item, it should taste exactly the same. And that, I
Exactly.
think, is very stifling.
Exactly. Applebee's has taken the first step. The chain announced a return to all-you-can-eat specials and an expansion of the popular 2 for $20 menu. Awesome. They're just going back. They're like, you know what? Fuck it. All you can eat. Please get this shit out of our face. We don't like it. So what are we gonna do? Should we try to go back to Applebee's? Should we help them out? Because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Jason did twice yesterday. That is he did it
Part
for
of the
me.
problem.
He's part of the problem. He just said I really wanted. I'm not gonna speak for the man, but he went twice. That's all I know, and he's still alive, so he's okay. He's not in the hospital or anything like I thought he would be. So my like for this week is Nazi tears.
What?
Nazi tears.
Oh, right. I do remember you saying that.
Yeah, so there has been a bunch of stuff lately. Charlottesville and just a bunch of other attacks from people who call themselves the alt-right. Or neo-Nazis, or I forget their other name. They keep changing names left and right.
Is the alt-right what they call themselves, or was that a label slapped on them?
I think they actually call themselves the alt-right, which is just another term for Nazi. It's at the end of the day, you're still a Nazi, and I also don't like the phrase neo-Nazi because that implies that like there's something new about these people. There's nothing new.
No.
The only thing new is they have other ways to communicate with technology. And recently with the Charlottesville stuff, there's been a huge protest of the Robert E. Lee statue being taken down and whatnot. And they went to go protest it. And there was violent protests. They had a person die. And all of a sudden, these people are getting fired from their jobs because they're in pictures and their companies don't want them anymore. And they're crying, and they're sobbing, and they're freaking out because no one wants to hang out with them. It's so weird.
If that happens, that's still protected by the First Amendment. Like, you can say whatever you want. You can say that, hey, Nazism is good.
Yeah.
The government cannot punish you for that.
That's true.
But a private employer can be like, well, I don't want to associate with you. That is still the First Amendment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People don't seem to get that and don't understand it. And these people are running around with their tiki torches, which, by the way, did you see the statement put out by the Tiki Torch Company?
Yeah.
I
feel bad for them. Like, I don't actually know if, like, it's just a Tiki Torch name brand.
I think it's just called Tiki.
I like them. I think they make outside barbecues.
They make outside
cozy.
barbecues fun.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if
gets
they actually work as bug repellent, or
No.
even if they claim to.
They
Maybe
claim
I'm thinking
to.
of something else, but
they have some bold claims, and I appreciate it. That's more of off's category than Tiki Torch. But man, I love a good Tiki Torch.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a shame that.
I know, but I like how they came out. And for those who didn't see it, Tiki Torch, the company, came out and said we don't associate with them with ourselves. They bought our products. We're more of a family gathering kind of thing, and it was very funny and very interesting. Also, did you see the Vice News Charlottesville thing? Highly recommend it. It's like 23 minutes. Vice News is a nightly news program that actually my buddy Jake colors for in New York. And they did a special on Charlottesville when the whole protest thing was going on. And they followed their leader. I don't even want to say his name. One, because I forget most of it. And two, I don't really want to say his name. And you got really some disturbing images of him saying, like, there's probably going to be violence. And, you know, he carries, like, 4 guns on him and shit like that. And he's causing tons of problems. And the other day, he found out that there was a warrant for his arrest. And there's a YouTube video out there of him crying in front of his computer because the police want to arrest him. And I could not want to buy those tears any more in my life than now. I've never wanted to buy someone's tears, and I want those tears so bad.
I'm trying to find it. I remember I watched this video. There was this, like, it was a Vice project, I think. There's a black guy, a little overweight with a big beard.
Okay.
He followed around, like, a white supremacist and his family.
Okay.
And it was, like, very eye-opening. Like, it was, like, the guy, despite everything he believed, was actually, like, kind of sweet.
Yeah.
In, like, a weird... But it just was very... You know, he was been downtrodden his whole life. His like relationship with his wife isn't great, and it's just things don't ever seem to go his way.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying this justifies it at all. Like his belief is absolute garbage, but you know, he was relating to this reporter, and it just they use it as like a scapegoat. Like I'm not as successful as I want to be. Well, it clearly is this minority group and not just either I'm not trying hard enough or sometimes that's just life.
Yeah, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you get dealt a really shitty hand and that's not fair.
And you know what? Sometimes you lose on a good hand. Sometimes you did everything right and there's just a bad beat. Like that's life.
And we normally as 2 white males, we have a pretty good hand up front, and I try to do my best every day to use that hand to my advantage if I can. But sometimes it just doesn't work out, and I feel like our way of coping with these things are maybe trying a different thing or maybe, doing something else. Their idea is to blame, as you said, blame another group of people for just existing, and that's insane.
Sorry, I've been on my phone. I did find what I was looking for. Okay. It is Vice Video. It's called America's Far White.
Okay.
The dude who did its name was Jamali.
Okay.
And yeah, he's to meet members of the National Socialist Movement, the largest neo-Nazi group in America. It's a pretty good video.
Okay.
I can say anything about this smarter than I can. So
yeah, no, I just a lot of stuff's been going on lately, and it's been scaring a lot of people. And I have a couple Jewish friends, and they're just like, this makes us remember how World War II went, and shit like that.
Terrifying. So one of the things that always drives me crazy is when someone's losing an argument, they compare their opponents to Hitler or Nazis.
Yeah.
It's really weird when people are doing it themselves. They're like, yeah, we are Nazis.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, they're also pretty chicken shit. Because these people are like, they always say like, oh, we're not Nazis, we're just alt-right. But they have the same...
Well, but no, a lot of them genuinely like hold up Nazi flags.
This is true. But if you go in their face and ask them, they will say no. Because they're trolls on the internet at the end of the day. Like,
well, that's a different aspect. I think there really is just people do it because it gets a rise out of people online.
This is true. Yes.
That's not the same thing as like,
yeah,
what that Vice video is about, or probably these people in Charlottesville. There is kind of like the 4chan alt-right that just people do it because it pisses people off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just because you want to see a rise out of someone. And it does work. It gets me going once in a while and whatnot. So I can't help it. I can't help but fall for those traps because I feel bad that something like this could potentially happen again.
No, but I don't know. I saw somewhere it's just if you see someone saying this stuff, just
call them out.
Yeah, make them realize like how shitty these beliefs are.
Yep.
That like you're better than someone because of something you don't have any control of. Just like the color of your skin. It's stupid.
Exactly. And per that example, I read that somewhere. And the other day I did something about that. I have a family member who is clearly a really staunch Republican and pretty racist. And I called her out on it because she posted about the Robert E. Lee thing coming down. And we got into this verbal discourse on Facebook about it. And I just said at one point, I just said, listen, I don't like that one of my family members is for a person who's for slavery. I don't think that's okay. I said that was never okay. It saddens me that you're part of my family. And what she should have said was, I don't like slavery. What she did say was, well, everyone did it. And I'm like, oh my God, please, can we, we don't talk. She's part of my family that we don't talk to at all for obvious reasons. But I think calling people out on their shit is very important nowadays. I don't stand for it.
I think it works better in person.
I agree. I don't want to see this person in person.
I
though.
don't think a single human being in the history of time has ever had their idea changed by Facebook.
This is true. This
Yeah,
is true. It
people just
only
kinda, like,
only
bury
Facebook
down.
cements your current belief.
There's also I can't remember what it's called. There's an effect where, like, I have very clear evidence that your belief is wrong,
Yeah.
and it just makes you bunker down more. Like it doesn't.
You're like doubling down on the thing
Yeah.
because you'd rather be angrily wrong right, I guess. I'm not saying that correctly.
Yeah, I'm not really exactly.
You're like
sure what
you're
trying to
like
express.
you're holding to your guns regardless, and you rather just hold it
And
down.
I genuinely don't know if that's like it sucks that feeling of like, oh my god, I'm wrong. Is
Yeah.
bad, but like,
It's
are you just
okay to
trying
be
avoid
wrong.
that? Yeah,
I'm wrong all the fucking time.
yeah, me too.
Just talking to me, you'll notice that I say things wrong all the time.
That's the only way you grow as a person is
That's right.
be wrong and
admitting
learn from that.
admitting that you are wrong and sometimes stupid, and you want to learn.
I don't remember anything as well as when I have that like horrible realization, like, oh shit, that was wrong, or what I just said was wrong, or I
Yeah.
just made a mistake, and then it's like it's
and-
a lot better than like getting it right a few times.
Exactly, or having someone tell you it's right even though it's wrong.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's probably more detrimental than telling someone they're wrong.
It's these are really like complicated issues that are probably honestly too heavy for our podcast.
I don't know what you're
but,
talking about.
Yeah.
This Plucking Petals podcast is soon to be an NPR podcast
Mm-hmm.
on top of an NPR podcast. So we can go real meta and real deep if you want to sometime.
Sure.
That sounds great. We'll get super drunk, and I won't even have the microphones on us. I'll just have them around the room. So when we're pacing back and forth making points, it'll just pick up all the sound. Sounds like a solid plan. James, what are you digging this week?
I have been watching Initial D,
Okay.
a Tokyo Drift racing anime from the 90s. And it is like if you spend some time on the internet,
Yeah.
you've heard the music from this show before. They
Okay.
use it to meme everything.
Can you send it to me?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know if I could recommend the show. It is horribly animated. It has that we just figured out how to do computers.
Yeah.
And like the cars are like block models with like 30 pixels. and
Oh
it's-
no.
And the drawing is bad, but it's just I'm actually
You're
really
really enjoying
digging
it. Okay.
Yeah.
I can dig it. All my plug stuff. September 6th, I am opening for Froggy Fresh at the Beachland Ballroom. Tickets are still available online if you want to just go to beachlandballroom.com. On September 9th, I am going to be doing improv with the improv group I'm in called Something Data at the Lakewood Beck Center. That starts at 8 o'clock. And September 23rd, I'm also doing improv with Something Data at the Beck Center, also at 8 o'clock. Other than that, work on the album, recorded some songs, started doing them live, and now that I have this computer, I am now streaming on Twitch. So just like everything else of my plugs, you can find me at Mayor Wertz on twitch.tv and everything else. Once again, this has been Plucking Petals with James and Kyle. As always, I'm Kyle.
And I guess we're not doing a sad ending.
Oh no, do we not do a sad ending? Shit, I was already bummed with the Nazis.
Yeah.
What's your sad ending?
I don't know. I didn't know. I thought you had it prepped.
I forgot. Oh shit, that's the sad ending. Kyle fucked up again. I fucked up. I didn't bring the recorder. I had to go back to my house and get the recorder, and now I'm back, and now we're late as well, and I forgot the sad ending. I got to talk to James about it.
Stay classy.
Stay classy, folks.